Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Topoco Lodge. Topoco.com is the website right there. Summer is in full swing. Thanks to many of you folks, that means Topoco Lodge is filling up fast. Not only can you stay there, not only can you dine there, but you can actually reach out to them on Facebook and perhaps you can work there. Competitive wages, incentive programs for their employees, possible on-site lodging for you. Contact at Topoco Lodge on Facebook for more information. These are good people, and what they are, if you haven't been up there to see it for yourself, you need to get up there. Topoco Lodge is a really slick place and be a great place to work. Give them a shout on Facebook if you are interested in doing so. Now, let's continue our countdown very quickly here. 15 biggest storylines to watch during the 2018 football season. Numbers 9, 8, and 7, but again, we can debate this. Number 9, switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4 defense. Number 8, that killer 5-game stretch in the middle of the season. Florida, followed by at Georgia, followed at Auburn, then Alabama, then at South Carolina. Brutal. Number 7, Jeremy Pruitt's relationship with his players. Remember, this is a guy who said after the spring game that he had some guys quit. Said he hadn't seen anything like that since his high school days. And he's going to be a tough guy. He's bringing a different style than what Butch Jones did. Will the players buy in or not? So that relationship, we're talking a lot about Pruitt relationships. 5-game killer stretch, switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4. And by the way, I should point out, if you're wondering where these 15 topics came from, everybody here kind of sent in a list of their own, and we tallied them up. Gentlemen, what's tops? What's most important? What's the biggest storyline in your opinion on that screen right there?
I go the killer 5-game stretch. I just think that's going to be a true test of everybody's buy-in. I'm talking about the fan base. That you're going to start a new era with a new coach, all excited, and that's going to be a real reality check to get through that 5-game stretch.
And that 5-game stretch could test the player relationship with the coach, depending on how they do through that. Yeah, I think that's tough. If you swing and miss in every one of those games, it's going to be a long year.
I'm going to go with the player relationship with Pruitt because I thought until last year, towards the end of last year, I thought the players never quit on Butch Jones. I thought they played hard for him, even in the games that you lost close. And at the end, I thought the players still played, and then last year they quit. So I think this year, that killer 5-game stretch, to me, I kind of have a feeling in my mind how it's going to turn out. So like you just said at the end of your comment, okay, how does Pruitt and the players come through that together? And I think long-term for your program, that's the biggie, and you kind of get a taste of that this year.
Well, to me, this is still tied into how important the opener is when you're playing West Virginia, that 5-game stretch. And how do you come out of that physically? You know, if you still have a lot of the injuries when you've got on that stretch run, the chance to get a few wins, are you going to be healthy enough to have the best players out there? So how many teams in the country are going to have a 5-game stretch like that?
You know, and you're kind of got Tennessee now in a position where Kentucky and Vanderbilt were for so long. Remember, Tennessee would catch them. They were thin, they were beat up, and so Tennessee hammered them most years. Well, Tennessee's kind of in that position right now as well because you don't have that kind of depth, and that kind of schedule right there could really set you up. Forget those 5 games. What happens with the games after that if you come out of it?
And I'll combine those last two, the 5-game stretch and Pruitt's relationship with his players. If he's talking about players quitting after a spring game, what might his view be if you take your lumps in those 5 games? Let's say you don't. Let's say it's a bad stretch and you lose all 5. Where is he? Because he seems to be right now a coach that's he'd have no problem weeding people out. I think he's told some people behind closed doors, best for you to look elsewhere. This isn't the right program for you. If this 5-game stretch goes poorly, where might he be in terms of not just how the players are reacting to him, but where might he be in terms of the way his players are responding to adversity and who needs to be here moving forward? So that, to me, you can kind of mesh those two together. Let me tell you something, folks. You can win on July 1st. This is 2 weeks from today. Set the DVR, cancel what you're doing. July 1st at 11 a.m. right here on WATE 6. You can win one of 8 incredible prize packages. Let's put this on the screen, okay? Watch to win, and this is thanks to folks like Parkside Cabin Rentals, El Chico, Smoothie King. Football season tickets and a parking pass. That's the first prize. Second prize, basketball season tickets and a parking pass. There's also going to be a 3-night stay in a 2-bedroom Smokies cabin, courtesy of Parkside Cabin Rentals. 3-night stay in a 1-bedroom Smokies cabin. We're going to be giving away 4 floor seats for a UT basketball game to be named later. 2 tickets to the UT West Virginia football game in Charlotte, 2 tickets to the UT Florida football game, and all these 2 have a parking pass, by the way, the Florida game and the Alabama game, plus multiple gift certificates from from Smoothie King and from El Chico. At least 8 viewers will win. That is a pretty doggone good deal, and Parkside Cabin Rentals came to me and said, we don't do a contest. I'm like, well, we don't do a lot of contests here. Well, here's what we're willing to give away. Yeah, I'm okay doing a contest. I think our folks would like that. So let me show you how you can enter. It's pretty simple. You can be one of our 8 winners by emailing your name, mailing address, and age to sportsourcetv@gmail.com. Chuck, you can't enter, so don't write it down. Name, mailing address, and age. And yes, he's really writing it down. Name, mailing address, and age to sportsourcetv@gmail.com. You've named all your friends on the show, so I'll know when I get one of their entries it's you. You have to send it by June 25th. Send it to me by June 25th, and you'll be entered. And here's how we're going to do this. That week, July 1st, it's our 15th anniversary here. We're coming to the end of the 15th year. So we're going to look back. It's going to be Tennessee trivia, football and men's basketball from 2003 to 2018. Chuck, Mike, Jimmy, and John Wilkerson will be answering these trivia questions. Bob will be at the big wipey board because he doesn't want to play the trivia challenge. He'll be keeping track of the score. Sterling Hinton will be here. Who better to shout out the names of winners? But 8 of you will be watching along. And as these guys are answering questions, they'll be answering questions for the people that we randomly draw out of the list that you send me, the names that you send me. So it's a great chance to win. Thanks to our sponsors for doing it, especially Parkside Cabin Rentals. We'll see you on the next side of this break, and what we're going to be talking about, let's see. What's more important? What's going to be the bigger impact this year? Newcomers on this roster or player development this offseason for players who are already on the roster? That's next in terms of our biggest storylines of the year countdown. Come on back on the Sports Source.